James. Recently, there was an unusual crop circle at Wilton Windmill in the British Isles, where a disc with 12 segments was found in a ripening field. There's an unusual image, which you can see here. And it seemed to have a code. And when I first saw this image coming over the internet, it seemed to me this was a sound. It reminded me of computer punch cards, the very original punch cards that were used in giant mainframes. And then also of, before that, piano reels, the old piano rolls that were used in player pianos, where you could put in a roll and flick a button and mechanically the piano would play a tune that had been recorded by a musician as the keys were triggered by the open spaces in the paper. So it became my idea to transcribe what I was seeing in these 12 discs and perceive if there was any musical value to what was being shown here. I used the tones of the overtones series and transcribed what I determined were the reasonable pitches based upon the naturally occurring overtones. Overtones are the vibrations that occur in a string or a horn and are the nature of sound, and it gives it its quality and character. The nature of the overtone series will determine the sound of an instrument. A bassoon will sound different than a trombone, even though they're in the same range, because of the way their overtones are excited by the materials and construction and various things. So the overtone series is an analog and natural vibratory medium. And so, transcribing it, I recorded each segment as its own piece, its own part, its own line, which was 8 measures long. Each measure had 2 parts, as there are 2 sides to each slice here. Now, these then, once they were recorded, could be played either simultaneously together, where you would have 12 parts playing simultaneously over 8 measures, and also linearly, where you can have the 8 bars of each segment play sequentially, one following the other. Having recorded them and played them back, I determined that the most interesting way to hear this card, to hear this crop circle, would be to have the 12 parts played simultaneously, repeated 12 times, while over the top of these, each in a linear fashion was played over the 12 repetitions. This gives us a piece of music. It has a certain form to it, and was concluded with one measure of segment 1 and segment 12 played as a conclusion. We end up with a sort of a fanfare like one that maybe Zappa would write. It reminds me of the re-Egyptian strut. Nevertheless, here for your edification and enjoyment, a choice of pitches and rhythm to accompany a crop circle. I hope you enjoy it.